Man, so we've got this, you work full-time in a high school, you have this amazing business, Teach Speech, and then you also have a YouTube channel, which is also super impressive, called Classic Kacy, and that's actually how we originally found you. So did you start that, I guess, before you did Teach Speech or after, and is it primarily, I guess, speech-language pathology stuff as well? I know that you have some lifestyle stuff going on in there too.
Yeah, so Classic Kacy started when I was in grad school, and it was my second semester of my first year. And I had that first semester of grad school kicked my butt. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, it was like, whoa, what is this? So, so I made a YouTube channel based off the fact that I could not find anything on YouTube really, like, outside of one person, and then she like dropped off after she was done with grad school. So I couldn't find anybody who could tell me anything about grad school, about speech pathology and grad school. So like, one of my first videos about speech therapy was like 5 things nobody tells you about grad school. And so that video alone still has people commenting on it and finding
Oh my
it
gosh.
5 years later. I know. Agreeing. And even from they're not even in speech therapy programs. They're like, this is so true. And it was just the things that I learned in grad school, like, what social life are you going to have? Like, just all types of stuff that you learn. So I began documenting my journey through grad school with my friends, how I studied, my favorite types of therapy, things I was learning, roadblocks, feeling like I couldn't do certain things or whatever. And it really just started attracting people who were into speech therapy, who were saying, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I found your channel. I haven't found anybody to talk about this. But today it's different because there's a lot of people on YouTube talking about speech therapy, which is great. Because one person can't do it all. You know what I mean? But that's really how it started. So I started, like I said, back in 2015. And it's kind of just followed me throughout. So over time, I had stopped talking about grad school because I wasn't in grad school anymore. It was like, now I'm working my first job. So let me tell you about how I got that. And now, I went through my CF and then I talked about that. So my channel really just follows me where I am, but I'm a speech pathologist. So it's always going to end up talking about speech. It's just not always going to be grad school because now it's been 4 years since I've graduated. There could be something totally new coming down the pipeline and I don't know anything about it because I'm not in the classroom, Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of how it started and where it goes, how it's going.
Well, I love that you started out with grad school and then you've let it kind of follow you along too, and people have joined you. And you're obviously like a very authentic person. Like, even talking to you today, it's just so fun because you are just who you are, and it's awesome.
Thank you.
When you got started and people started following you, I could see starting making the videos and being like, okay, this is cool. And then people start like following you and commenting and being like, oh my gosh, all these people are seeing my very personal life, right? Because you share a lot about like, your day-to-day, right? Like, following you through life. So was that kind of scary or daunting, or what did that feel like, I guess, when you started realizing there's a lot of people watching these videos?
Yeah, it was like, oh, okay. I started thinking about my family because I'm like, I'm on here a little bit too comfortable and I don't want to be embarrassing anybody. But I think it was kind of cool because it was like this SLP community. So it was like, oh, cool. Like, y'all, we know what we're talking about. Like, we get it, So that was cool. When people now have been like, I started watching you back when I was a freshman and now I'm in grad school. And I'm like, oh my gosh, so there's like been a whole class at this point who had been like following me. And then now they're, I get messages and DMs all the time. They're like, I've been following you since here. And then now I'm about to start my first day on the job. I'm like, oh my gosh, has it been that long? Like, but there was a little bit of pressure to always give the best and the right advice. And eventually I had to take that off of myself and be like, girl, I don't know. Like, you're going to have to just, let me point you to a different resource. Because I had zero idea. You know, there's been like emails and comments on like, hey, I don't know what class I should take. Can you look over my schedule? I'm like, girl, I can't look over your schedule. I don't know. So I just tried to like, again, like honestly, being myself has helped me 100%. It's always a win to just be yourself because you don't have to know everything. You don't have to be everything, even when more eyes are on you, even when you get more attention or more people are coming to you. It can get scary, but if you just, I feel like I always just revert back to just like, okay, but what do I really know? Who am I really? And making sure I'm not putting on. And that has kind of just helped me continue to just do what I do without, you know, I guess disappointing anybody, or maybe I am disappointing some people, who knows, but it's just like, that's all you can do is just be yourself, you know? So even in the growth, I just continue to remember, be yourself. Like this can all go away tomorrow. YouTube can shut down and then what? Ain't nobody gonna see your videos, which, you know, so